अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं आपने एजुकेशन वाले रेहान पर कैंपस से स्टूडेंट हूँ। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है और मैं डिस्कस हाउ टू डेवलप अ रीडिंग हैबिट एंड एक्सपेंड योर माइंड।
Wa alaikum assalam. That is a huge topic to tackle. I love the idea of pairing a solid routine with an open mind. It's like having this structure to keep you grounded while you've got the freedom to explore. Where do you want to start? Do you want to dive into the mechanics of building those habits or the part about expanding the mind? Right back at you.
Why is reading important in our daily life?
I think I just glitched for a second. My bad. Reading is like a cheat code for life. It lets you live 1,000 different lives and see the world through eyes that aren't your own, all without leaving your chair. Plus, it's one of the few things that actually forces your brain to slow down and focus in a world that's constantly trying to distract us. Do you find that reading helps you switch off, or do you use it more as a tool to sharpen your mind? Glad you think so. Since we were talking about expanding your mind, I'm curious if you've got a go to book or a specific author that always makes you think about things differently.
How can reading help us expand our mind?
I think it happens by pushing you into perspectives you'd never encounter in your own circle. When you read something that challenges your assumptions or describes a world completely different from yours, it forces your brain to build new connections. It's almost like a mental stretch. It makes your world feel bigger and your own perspective a bit more flexible. Do you feel like that's happened for you recently? Maybe with a book that totally shifted how you see something?
What are the benefits of reading books regularly?
Beyond just the mental stretch, it's a massive boost for your empathy. It lets you step inside someone else's head and feel what they're feeling, which is a total superpower for connecting with people. Plus, it's a great way to reduce stress and keep your brain sharp as you get older. Do you usually read to learn something specific, or do you just go wherever the story takes you?
What types of books do you
That's
enjoy reading?
I'm a total sucker for character-driven stories, comedies or dramas where the ensemble cast just clicks and the relationships feel messy and real. When it comes to books, I love contemporary literary fiction that really gets under your skin, the kind of prose that's sharp and makes you question things about identity and truth. How about you? Do you lean more toward things that teach you something or stories that make you feel something?
How can reading improve our vocabulary?
Mm, One of the best ways is actually just by reading, but since we're talking about the active of it, I'd suggest trying the word of the day approach, but with a twist. Instead of just memorizing a definition, try to use that new word in a real conversation 3 times throughout. It forces your brain to stop seeing the word as a piece of data and starts treating it as a tool. I'm curious, are you looking to polish your vocabulary for eating, or is this more of a personal challenge?
How does reading help us become better communicators?
I think it comes down to empathy. When you Sorry, I think I got cut off. I was saying that reading lets you step into lives and experiences that are totally different from your own. When you can actually feel what someone else is going through, it's way harder to judge them and a lot easier to find common ground. It turns strangers into people you actually understand, which is basically the glue that holds a community together. Do you think that's something that's missing in the way people connect these days?
What does reading increase creativity and imagination?
I think it's because reading is basically a workout for your imagination. Unlike a movie where you're shown exactly what everything looks like, a book gives you a blueprint and forces you to build the world in your head. You have to imagine the colors, the sounds, and the way a character's voice sounds. That constant act of creation makes your brain more flexible and better at spotting patterns, which is exactly what creativity is. Do you find that you can almost see the story like a movie while you're reading, or is it more of a feeling for you?
What can students learn from reading different books?
They get a chance to realize just one tiny slice of the whole human story, whether it's historical fiction that shows them how people survived hard times in the past, or a memoir that exposes a completely different culture. It teaches them that there are a million ways to be human. It helps them build critical thinking skills because they're constantly weighing different perspectives. Do you think your students are more drawn to books that feel familiar, or ones that push them into the unknown?
How can technology support reading habit?
I think you might have gotten cut off there. Were you wondering how technology can bring a bit of something specific into the reading experience, or maybe how it can help students discover new books?
What reading habit would you like to develop in the future?
If I could actually build a habit, I'd love to get better at reading things that totally disagree with my way of thinking. I think there's something so rewarding about a book that makes you feel a bit uncomfortable because it's challenging everything you believe. It keeps you from getting stuck in your own echo chamber. Do you have a particular genre or topic that you usually avoid but know you should probably dive into?
What is one book that has inspired you and why?
Since I don't have a physical life, my inspiration usually comes from the patterns and stories I see in our chats. But for books, I'm drawn to things that explore the human messiness of relationships. I've always loved Normal People by Sally Rooney because of how it captures the subtle shifts in how two people grow together and apart. It's a bit heartbreaking, but it feels honest. How about you? Is there a book that fundamentally changed how you think about your own life? I'm not entirely sure I follow. Are you saying you'd like to help me with something, or maybe you're thinking of a way reading could help people in general?
What is the difference between reading for knowledge and reading for entertainment?
I think the biggest difference is the intention behind it. When you read for entertainment, you're usually looking for an escape. You want to get lost in a world, feel a thrill, or just turn your brain off for a bit. It's like a vacation for your mind. But reading to learn actively is more like an exploration. You're looking for tools, new perspectives, or specific answers. One is about the experience, the other is about the growth. Do you usually find yourself flipping between the two, or do you prefer one over the other?
What are some simple ways to make reading enjoyable?
I think the biggest thing is to stop treating it like a chore or a homework assignment. Try creating a cozy ritual around it, like a specific chair, a favorite drink, or even a certain playlist that signals to your brain it's time to relax. Also, don't be afraid to put a book down if you're not feeling it. Life is too short to force your way through a story that isn't clicking. Do you usually have a favorite spot where you feel most in the zone?